My name is Khyon Church. A lot of people like to call me Mr. KC. They say it sounds a lot easier. So basically where I'm at with this whole opportunity is, I'm really liking it. But I'm thinking that the people who connect with this thing the most, I'm thinking that they're the everyday working man. The people who go to work every day, punch the clock, come in, come out. They work all life for their savings accounts. And, they're trying to make a better life for their family down, later on in the future. So what they've done is they've adopted these, a lot of them have adopted these 401k plans. And, I'm kind of familiar with the 401k plan. I actually had a job when I came out of college, and they offered a 401k plan. Now I kind of thought it was some BS at the time. I was young. I didn't want to invest in it. Why should I let these people hold my money? That's how I always felt, So it was kind of rough for me to give them any money, but I'm going to tell you, being so the kind of person that I am, always trying to get the most for my, the bang for my buck. I put the maximum in because I wanted to get the maximum out of the company. If y'all forcing me to do this 401k thing, then I need the most for my money, Now it turned out to me to be a scam because I ended up quitting the job. I didn't have nowhere to roll the 401k over to. They wouldn't let me keep it going and just put my own contributions in. They basically made me take a heavy penalty withdrawal because I didn't have nowhere to roll it over to. A lot of people got scammed in the same 401k thing, So much so that, I was kind of talking to, a lot of leadership in Karatbars, and I'm saying, who are our main target market? And basically anybody with a bank account. But it's the savings account holders who this thing really makes sense to, Now I watched a video called the 401k Fallout, and it was on 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes. Y'all familiar with that show? Comes on Sundays. And I took some notes. I'm going to read my notes to you. I really felt like, this 401k thing has affected a lot of people in an adverse kind of way, which makes people kind of weary to even do other things, because they've been burnt and abused and, and mistreated by people that they were familiar with, that looked them in their face, who they knew their name, their first and last name, and they end up getting burnt. So now people are kind of like reluctant to do other things, whether they make sense or not, which is highly understandable. But either way, I'm going to read you my notes. It's called the 401k Fallout if you want to check it out. It was a 60-minute special. All right. The effects of the current economic crisis have touched everyone. If you have a good job and a paid-up mortgage, chances are your monthly 401k statement will remind you that you've lost a chunk of your savings. Trillions of dollars have evaporated from those accounts that have been the prime source of retirement funds for a majority of American workers, affecting their psyche and their future. If you're still young enough, there's time to rebuild and recover. But if you're in your 50s or 60s or beyond, the consequences could be dire. 401k, it's drawing the attention of the shortcomings of a retirement system that's jeopardized the financial security of tens of millions of people. What kind of retirement plan allows millions of people to lose 30 to 50% of their life savings just as they near retirement? Well, the lie that the 401k plan pushers want us to believe is that the 401k plan is the absolute best way people can save for retirement, and that the 401k is the absolute best retirement vehicle that people have. Wow. If people believe that, right? Okay, so 401k plan supporters claim that 401k plans have multiple investment options. Number two, they claim that they are low yield and produce guaranteed returns. Now, when the 401k plan supporters say, when we ask them, what went wrong, they say number 3, people who lost money will only have themselves to blame, because more or less 401k investors are their own investors. So, they lead you down the path, and then when you make a wrong move, they say, hey, it ain't nobody's fault but yours. All right, so the 401k plan has become the primary source of retirement income for over 60 million Americans, but it was never really designed to be a retirement plan from the very beginning. The 401k plan was created in the late 1970s as a savings plan and a tax shelter for working Americans. The idea was that a worker would make a voluntary contribution and their employer would match a portion of it. The taxes were to be deferred until the employee reached the age of 59 and a half. It was supposed to supplement the 2 traditional income streams for retirees at the time, which were Social Security and pensions. The 401k was to serve as the third leg on a 3-legged stool that would support American workers into their golden years, but it didn't turn out that way. 401k turned out to be so much cheaper than pension funds that many companies decided to freeze pension plans and replace them with the 401k plans. All right, this discussion created millions of new employee investors for Wall Street and the financial community. Now, the big beneficiaries of this was the mutual funds, because that was being traded in the 401k plans. All right, so when employers began turning 401k plans into retirement plans, the financial community wasn't shy to promoting them as such. The prospect of trillions of dollars in the hands of unsophisticated investors opened the doors for all sorts of potential abuses. The facts are that the typical 401k investor is a financial novice. They are given a list of 20 to 30 potential mutual funds with powerful names that are mediocre at best and are considered dogs. There has been a raid on these financial funds by the people of Wall Street, and it has cost the savers and future retirees a lot of their money that would be in their account, independent of the financial collapse. The economic wizards of the 401k have a practice of deducting multiple undisclosed fees, which a lot of people really hate. These undisclosed fees are crazy. Like, they say it's a million fees in there that you can't even find. You could look through the contract and not even find half of them. They're said to jump in and out of your account, taking money out of retirement plans without saying how much or why. They don't speak in plain English and are not interested in disclosing anything or being transparent. We're talking about the economic wizards of the 401k now. So some examples of the hidden fees are as follows: legal fees, trustee fees, transactional fees, stewardship fees, booking fees, finder's fees. And the worst part of all, certain fees can eat up to half of the income earned out of some of the 401k plans over a 30-year span. Now, if you got a 401k plan, chances are you probably lost some money too. My father actually took a great big hit back when the bubble burst. I don't even want to tell you how much, but it was a super big hit. It was enough hit for us to live off of for a couple years, just strictly not doing nothing. So, just to know where you at with it, let's move to something more solid, man. If you lost on that investment, let's try something different. This is not an investment. Karatbars is not an investment. It's, investment requires for speculation. There's no speculation on this part. Gold has never lost. Gold's never lost, ever, ever, ever. So if you want something solid, gold's a rock solid investment. Thanks for following along in today's podcast. My name is Mr. KC. I hope to hear back from you soon. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want to know, leave it on the Facebook page. Gold Savings Info. Gold Savings Info. My name's Mr. KC. Talk to you soon. Thanks.